wearekindonline.com.
Already coaching? Everybody's a coach these days. I get it. Life coach, relationship coach, financial coach. But you want to be a coach with integrity. So get certified and do it the right way. Or add coaching to the work that you already do. Join a cohort or take classes at your own pace. We have knowledgeable instructors. We have a life-changing curriculum. Go to academyofcreativecoaching.com to learn more.
Welcome to Atlanta where the players play and we ride on them things like
It's time for the coaching interview.
Hey, we doing back-to-back interviews like
Man, we going back to back.
Hey, let's get it, man.
Going back to
Our
back.
second interview brought to you by people at Oracy Software. Go to oracy.com, orasi.com to find out more information about this great product. Make sure please introduce our second guest.
Man, the pride of Two Notch Road.
Third guest.
Listen, you got to know about Columbia, South Carolina, know about Two Notch Road. Future NFLer, USC Gamecock, Bryson Allen Williams to the microphone. What's up, B?
What's going on, man? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Good. Hey, man,
We ain't not as good as you, but we gonna keep working. We gonna keep working.
I'm glad you got in because your mama came in and gave us that work.
Oh, yeah.
She gave that work.
Hey,
Talk to us, man, this process that you've been going through, man. How has it been for you? Has it felt like a dream? How has it felt for
Oh
you,
yeah,
man?
definitely. Growing up right there in Ellenwood, going to Cedar Grove High School, went to Cedar Grove Elementary, Cedar Grove
No doubt,
Middle.
no doubt.
Being a Georgia boy, going to South Carolina, being able to fulfill those dreams, it's a blessing. A lot of people, wish that they were in this position, and I'm one of the lucky ones that was able to go to the combine, able to actually participate, in pro day, playing the SEC, be a dominant player in the SEC. So like I said, I'm blessed. It's not me. I know it's God. I know people can't tell me it's God not real. So.
I love it. Talk about the combine process. First of all, everybody don't get invited.
Right, that's right.
It has become, everybody knows,
Hey,
it's
I
like
thought I would
the...
get it.
Nah, okay. You should have. But we'll keep going. The biggest job interview in the world.
Oh, yeah.
All eyes are on this con.
Oh, yeah.
What is it like to just be on that stage?
It's crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, just from when you get there, the things that you have to go through, medical, talking to teams, getting evaluated by teams medically, it's a long process, but like you said, it's the biggest job interview, and it's a huge blessing. Like I said, you get to sit down, you really get to see what teams are interested in you, see what teams kind of want to know about you. Coaches asking questions. For me, being a guy that my dad played in the league, being a guy that's been around football, just seeing some of the coaches that you grow up looking at on the sidelines, and like you really sitting there talking football to them. So like I said, it was a great experience for me. I really learned a lot. Really got to compete with some of the guys that are going to be playing in the league for the next 10, 15 years.
Right.
See some of the coaches, like I said, they'll be potentially coaching me next year. So like I said, I'm excited. This whole process, it's been overwhelming, but I'm glad we're on the back end of it and I can actually get the football. So the underwear Olympics over with.
So which one out of all the drills were you the most kind of like, oh man, this is really that drill right now? This is the one I really want.
See, I ain't never been a track star, so the 40 and that stuff never been my favorite thing. But when it get down to those football drills, I probably as smooth as any of the guys there. I feel like I'm a football player, so when it comes down to football drills, change direction, catching footballs, that's what I do. And I feel like my feedback afterwards and that pro day, they were kind of like, we didn't know you can move like this. I played on the line of scrimmage, and they could really see that I can move in space, I could cover, catch, do all those things. So
Now, I got to cover your first head coach, Steve Spurrier, over the weekend during the AAF.
Yes, sir.
How was that playing for such a competitive guy? He's still competitive.
Oh yeah, that's the ball coach. I mean, he just winning the Heisman, him playing for multiple national championships, being a part of multiple, ACC championships. I mean, I feel like Coach Spurrier he's gonna go down in the Hall of Fame, of course.
Oh yeah.
And just playing for him, being here from Atlanta, turning down Georgia, Coach Spurrier made it worth it. Just the things that I was able to learn from him. The way that he approached the game, of course, he's a fiery guy. He's going to let you know when you do wrong. And I feel like, a lot of coaches go away from that nowadays. You feel, a lot of people like to be coddled. And Coach Spurrier's not a guy that's going to coddle you. He's going to let you know how it is. And I feel like that helped us out a lot.
just to go back to the combine for a minute. When you got there, what was your mindset? What were you wanting them to see about you when you got stepped out there?
Me just battling injuries my past, 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I just wanted them to see that I was healthy.
Right.
That was mainly the thing. Make sure I'm healthy, make sure I'm able to compete. That's one of the biggest things. I didn't want to, sit out any drills or sit out anything and just wait till a pro day. I wanted them to just get there and be able to see that I'm doing everything. I'm ready to compete. I know I had a pro day to improve some of my time and stuff, but I wanted them to see that when it's time to compete, when it's time to go, I'm no matter how I'm feeling, I'm always go.
Let me ask this real quick, Michelle. What's the difference between, in your opinion, combine and pro day?
Combine is a longer, drawn out process. I feel like at the combine, of course, you have more executives, top NFL management there. Pro day, you're gonna have a couple of those guys stop by, but the combine is the only place you can have. It's 400 personnel, NFL personnel, right there in front of you watching you compete. So I feel like that's kind of, like you said, it's the biggest job interview that you could ever have. So.
Have you understood that you are a business now?
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like my mom, she's instilled that in me since I got my first offer. The fact that actually I want to give a shout out to Joe Burns, rising seniors.
Yep.
Just ever since
2-0, Mason.
Yeah. I'm 2-0 as the GM. Yeah, ain't nobody beat me. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Like I said, Joe, the Rising Seniors program and the foundation, the things that they're doing for young men here in Georgia. I mean, I feel like that changed my life and my perspective about myself. I mean, coming out of Cedar Grove, you want to be on social media, you want to talk the way you want to talk, but at the same time, Coach Burns, Joe, he just made it to where he let us know that, once you get here and once you get to this, they look at everything. They look at your social media, they look at how you dress, they look at, how you come in, how you handle yourself, your body language, all type of things. And I feel like, just understanding the fact that it's bigger than you at this point. Once you get that offer, that's money invested into you. That's a college scholarship, and it just continues to progress as you go through.
Right.
As you get to your senior year in college, you got to understand that it's about your business going towards the NFL. And I think that that kind of helped me out a lot like I said, as a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, high school student. I was able to understand that you have a brand as soon as you get onto that campus, and even at South Carolina, it helped me out. I was on the cover of the newspaper in South Carolina. As I was enrolling, they were talking about me at South Carolina as I was in high school getting ready. During their spring practice, me going to high school. So just building that brand. Understanding that when you go to a school, you really are getting the whole fan base. So I think, like I said, my mom and Coach Burns, I feel like they helped me out a lot with that.
I love it. Speaking of that, we'll talk about South Carolina because there's a lot of people need
Right.
to learn about your perseverance and getting through it.
Right.
That'll come up later. But for now, the business part, I like what Maceo talked about, and when you learn to be a part of it, there is so much coming at you right now.
Oh, yeah,
Not only are you trying to sell yourself to be a player for a team,
Right.
but now you got to make sure you take your assets, make sure you're doing the right thing.
Definitely.
We don't want to see you on Sports Center,
Oh,
and
yeah,
all
right.
that stuff.
Right.
Somebody gonna tweet you at the club and
yeah,
all that.
right.
I don't see you standing on top of a Bentley.
Oh,
With $300,000 worth of jewelry on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is that? I mean, I know it's family. I know it's but how are you controlling that, making sure you control the narrative and that nobody gets it, it doesn't get out wrong that Bryson is about his business?
I just, it's a time and place for everything. I feel like for me, I don't want to go out and start celebrating until I have something to celebrate. For me, I don't feel like I have anything to celebrate
Can't
right
pop
now.
champagne without
Oh
some
yeah, come on, man. You can't just celebrate. You don't have nothing to celebrate for. I mean, of course, I graduated college. Of course, I'm on the process of getting to the league. But I mean, there's other goals that I have that I want to accomplish before I get to the point of just making sure that I'm having fun. I feel like it's a time and place for everything. And for me, that's on the later end of my career when I'm done doing what I need to do.
One of the things. So I was in that industry for a good little while,
Right.
and I know the pitfalls that are out there. One of the things I've enjoyed because I've been scrubbing your Twitter and
Right.
checking all the things.
We're looking at it.
Yeah, we're checking it out.
Checking it out.
Right,
Everybody talks about your character.
right.
Talk about that part and how important that is.
Oh, it's huge. I feel like, you know, you always got to be a good person. People like good people in their organization. So if you're not a good person, you know, if you don't treat everybody with the same respect, you got to treat it. I heard this a while back. You got to treat the CEO with the same respect you treat the janitor, and vice versa. So, you know, just making sure everybody that you speak to, everybody that you talk to, you know, you treat with the same respect.
Let me tweet Jerry Jones right quick. Tell him,
Hey, Malik, what's up? Hey, we signing old boy back? Because if not, we got somebody we can sign right here for the Falcons. We can sign somebody right here.
Let me tweet Jerry Jones right quick.
When we come back, man,
this guy.
After we come back from break, man, I want to talk to you. Y'all need to stay tuned. I want y'all to hear this guy's story. He played at South Carolina. He faced trials. He faced some tribulations, and he still worked on it. We're going to talk about that more, Bryson, when we come back, all right?
Yes, sir.
Stay with us.
If you have the questions, we have the answers. Go to ssnatl.com and click on the contact tab. As much as you like. We're the nation's urban station. Online. ssnatl.com.
Coming to Tampa Bay, I said we want to win a Super Bowl, and I believe we will.
From IamSecond.com.
We came close, but never really did win that championship.
Former NFL head coach Tony Dungy.
At the end of my 6th year, I was fired, and it was one of the biggest disappointments of my life. Next year, I'm in Indianapolis, get to the playoffs, but get knocked out again. And for the next couple of years, it's the same thing. Everyone is saying Colts are never going to win one. And I did wonder, why didn't it pan out the way I thought it would? But I determined that I had to have Christ first, and that everything else came below that, including my own desires. The next year, that ended up being our year to go to the Super Bowl and win it, and it was a wonderful feeling. Every decision I make, I'm going to make it through the lens of Jesus Christ, and He'd guide us to that ultimate victory. I'm Tony Dungy, and I am second.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. You know, I help people solve difficult problems every day, but one problem has me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. Luckily, the Feeding America network of local food banks collects surplus food, giving hope to hungry children and their families. But they need your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college. This is beyond a simple donation. It's the opportunity for America to invest in its kids and take an active stake in the future of the country. The return on your investment isn't money. What you get back is knowing you protected our potential. So one day, that potential can grow up to become surgeons and architects, executives and engineers, people who can change the future just by being a part of it. My name is Alicia, and I am your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth. Step out of the car, please. I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is big business. This is the American way.
Station Network.
See ya.
One of the most dominant home court.
Crust. You can't touch me, you're not man enough.
And that's all she wrote.
End zone touchdown.
I feel like I got baby hands up in here now. Jesus. We're in our second crushing interview right now, man, with Bryson Allen Williams. I'm just seriously, though, man. I thought I had Bryson Allen Williams, South Carolina stud, getting ready for that NFL. Single digit.
Yes, sir.
Single digit alert. Cedar Grove guy in the building. Let me ask you a question. Make sure I always ask this question. I'm going to steal it from him.
All right.
The first time you get a chance to see your name on the back of the NFL jersey, what's that going to be like for you?
It's gonna be crazy. Like I said, when my dad playing, that's always been my dream.
Yeah.
Just.
But it's for you though.
For me, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. With him, it's always, I always told him I was gonna be better than him. So, for me, he played 3 years. I gotta get at least 5 in. So,
to get that pension.
Yeah, get that pension. Tap in, yes sir. So, just seeing that, like you said, seeing your name on the back of a jersey, that's a huge accomplishment. But like I said earlier, the work don't stop there. I got real goals. I got real goals I'm trying to achieve. So.
This is what's crazy because you've actually got you got the degree. You're getting this opportunity. Do sometimes you kind of sit back and be like, that's all right.
Oh yeah, definitely. For me, I never thought I would be in this position. For my 10th grade year, starting off, I wasn't even playing varsity. And one of my coaches, he coached at Westlake, just went to Griffin. Coach Reed gave me a shot.
Coach Reed.
Yeah, Coach Kareem Reed gave me a shot at DN. First game, went in, got a strip sack. And just ever since that moment, I just knew that I kind of had. I thought I was gonna be playing baseball. To be honest with you,
we heard.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be playing baseball, but when I did that, I kind of started to realize that I kind of had a chance at football. And then as it just kept going, I just kind of realized that for me, this could be one of my ways out. So like I said, it's a blessing, man.
I'm sorry to be smiling like this, but strip sack, man.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Tell them about that feeling, man, when the ball come out like that.
Oh yeah, it's one of the best feelings in the
Make sure
it's
receivers,
a triple threat. It's a triple threat. You get a sack, tackle for loss, and you get a forced fumble. I mean, come on.
3 and 1. 3 and 1, Maceo.
Right there, man. Come on.
Maceo 3 and 1, man.
Yeah. Well, you defensive guys. Whatever. So let me ask you this, because you could have easily went to UGA.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Most local guys won't turn Athens down.
Can't.
What was it for you?
I wanted to create my own legacy. So for me, my final 3 was Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina. At the
it was
time,
definitely SEC then.
Oh yeah, SEC. I went. I had UCLA as that 4th, but that was just a little too far. And for
Did
me,
you at least go visit?
Oh yeah, I definitely.
LA, baby.
Oh, that person.
Yeah, it was beautiful out there. Just a little too far. I'm a Georgia boy. It was hard for me out there.
Yeah, you could go to 2 nights, but that
you too far. Yeah, that's too different.
75 degrees every day.
Every day.
Okay, let's keep going.
But like I said, just for me, I wanted. I know at Georgia I could have been, a part of something. I know. It's great linebackers that went to Georgia. It's great linebackers that went to, Alabama. But for me, I wanted to be one of the guys that could always be remembered at South Carolina. And I was able to accomplish a few things up there. It might not have been everything I wanted to, but at the time, just coming off, South Carolina had been on their 3rd 11-game win.
Right.
They ended number 4 in the country. We started off number 9 my freshman year, so it was perfect. Perfect storm. But a couple of things happened in recruiting. A couple of our guys couldn't get in, and it forced a couple of guys to play out of position. Right. Me included. I was I had to end up. I was the number 6 linebacker in the country coming out my senior year. Ended up having to move to defensive end.
Right. Yeah.
So for me, playing out of position. As soon as I get there. So
I know we talked about it because we got to talk to you about the South Carolina year. So you good?
Yeah.
Good time?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We'll come out in the rundown. We're going to talk to our guy, man, about his time because there's a reason why he played 5.
Right.
And we're going to talk about
we got to get to that.
We're going to talk
to
him about why
Yes,
he did 5. So, y'all, stay with us.
Oh, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I could really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Coming to Tampa Bay, I said we want to win the Super Bowl, and I believe we will.
From IamSecond.com.
We came close, but never really did win that championship.
Former NFL head coach Tony Dungy.
At the end of my 6th year, I was fired, and it was one of the biggest disappointments of my life. Next year, I'm in Indianapolis, get to the playoffs, but get knocked out again. And for the next couple of years, it's the same thing. Everyone is saying Colts are never going to win one. And I did wonder, why didn't it pan out the way I thought it would? But I determined that I had to have Christ first, and that everything else came below that, including my own desires. The next year, that ended up being our year to go to the Super Bowl and win it, and it was a wonderful feeling. Every decision I make, I'm going to make it through the lens of Jesus Christ, and He guides us to that ultimate victory. I'm Tony Dungy, and I am second.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Honey, what you cook for dinner tonight?
You want the good news or the bad news first?
The bad news first.
I cooked nothing.
Well, that's the good news then.
Uh-huh. Well, there's no bad news then, because tonight we're gonna have Jerk Palace.
Call Jerk Palace for authentic Caribbean cuisine, including vegetarian entrees with authentic Caribbean flavor. Call 770-892-5049. Located at 6221 Jonesboro Road, Highway 54 in Morrow, Georgia.
Jerk Palace.
Major key alert. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchooled.com. Brought to you by Get Schooled and the Ad Council.
The rundown. Hey man, we're going to the rundown. Shout out to our people at Cricket Wireless, man. Go to cricketwireless.com or to any Cricket Wireless store to find out about all the great things they got going on. Smile, this Cricket Wireless. Hey man, we still doing our interview, man, because you know when you got a future Falcon.
Oh God.
Or future NFL. I say that.
Right. The Falcons don't draft SEC guys. Let's keep going.
The Mitchell job.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
But we got a great guy here, man.
He'll go draft guys from Oregon.
Bryson Allen Williams in the building, man. And Bryson, I want to make sure we tell your story about perseverance, because tell them about some of the injuries you went through in the SEC while you was playing in South Carolina.
You know, for me, was coming off a, dominant junior season, coming back from my senior season, thinking, I'm gonna be able to, go out on the bang, go out with a bang. I started off first 3 games, I had 10 tackles, 2 sacks, interception, 3 tackle for loss and a fumble recovery.
Real quick. Which feels better, sack or interception?
Interception. I like having the ball in my hand.
Okay, keep going, man.
I ain't gonna lie. Those interceptions, those are the big ones. We end up playing at home. My first home game, opening up the season against Kentucky. It was a routine play. Dude cut back. I hit him. I just felt my shoulder pop out. I ain't think nothing of it. I hear people tell me, my shoulder pop out all the time. But I didn't need anybody to throw put it back in. I just popped it back in myself. When I popped it back in myself, they said, if it pops out, it pops right back in. It's torn. So I played the rest of the game with it. Not thinking nothing too major about it. Just thinking, it's a little shoulder injury. They'll be able to, brace me up, and I'll be able to play the rest of the season. I ended up having to go to the doctor, and they told me, I fractured, a piece of my shoulder, and that, that keeps it in place or whatever. So I ended up having to have season-ending surgery. I never red-shirted, never thought about red-shirting. But at the same time, I feel like, just battling that at the time I did, where I was looking too far ahead. I'm looking at the agents that I'm going to talk to. I'm looking at, where I'm going to go to train. And this is during the middle of the season. And that kind of set me back and, made me really evaluate my life and really evaluate, the things that I need to do as a person. It humbled me,
Humbling point.
Humbling me, That's
humbling point.
So I hit that humbling point, and for me, like I said, it helped me get more involved in the community. I was a part of the SEC Leadership Conference. Was actually the vice chairman of the SEC Leadership Conference. So this is something that the SEC does, where they go elect guys, and they bring guys in from every team, and you sit down and talk about the changes you want to make for football in general. But the SEC, what type of things that we need, players need to be changed. And, they end up, like I said, being the vice chairman, I end up getting it selected to go to the autonomy meeting. And I know this transfer rule everybody, using now. I was one of the few people, student athletes that actually helped get that passed. So, we actually, brought it up.
History,
right? And,
brought
it up. And
transfer portal brought to you by.
Oh, yeah.
Bryson.
Me and a few, few other people. But, we just, for me, my brother, went to Auburn. He wanted to transfer to Ohio State.
Yep.
Auburn blocked this transfer. They told me, you got to go to JUCO if you're gonna go to Ohio State. And for me, just being, like I said, the position that I was in, I was able to, go to Dallas and, tell my brother's story, and, they end up giving giving that rule that we, came up with, gave it to the, transfer committee, and they end up getting it passed this year. So. That's a blessing. And then, going on, like I said, was able to do all those things, after I got injured my first senior season. Came back this year, 5th year. I knew, I had one mindset, play with a business-like mentality, practice with a business-like mentality, because I know, I already got my degree. I knew where I was going. I knew where I wanted to go. Played pretty good this year. Had a solid season. Was, ended up being top 5 edge defenders, in the SEC through like week 9 or week 10. And then, play Ole Miss, ended up rolling my ankle, having to have ankle surgery. So that, that set me down, but at the same time, I already knew, how to battle the adversity of, going through an injury. So it wasn't that hard for me. I understood, what I needed to do to get back, how hard I needed to work to, at least get to a point where I could play again, because I didn't want that to be my last game. I didn't play in front of the South Carolina fans the way I wanted to and go out the way I wanted to. So, I told myself I was going to go out on my terms. So I battled back, was able to come back Virginia game, and I played. We didn't win, but I was able to go out there and go out the right way in front of in Charlotte, North Carolina, where we had the stadium mostly filled with Gamecock fans, and me able to go out that way. So
I've always felt that South Carolina had one of the greatest intros with the 2001.
Oh yeah, it's the best. It's the best in the SEC.
Talk about just when you guys hear that, and y'all coming out and they got those towels waving. Yeah. It's like the little round I call the curly fry thing up there. It's just talk about that atmosphere. The game costs on game day.
It's second to none. I remember my first game going when South Carolina played Georgia in 2012. They ended up winning 35-0. But I remember the first sandstorm, just seeing, the way that those fans got in that stadium. And for me, it was that moment that it kind of solidified where I was going to school. I knew before I even knew where I was going to school. And, just talking to my mom and, talking to my dad, it's crazy because my name Bryson Allen Williams. I played at Williams-Brice.
Yeah.
On George Rogers Boulevard. My dad named George Roger Williams. So they were kind of meant to be. So they were kind of meant to be.
Everything tied in well together. You talk about looking down the line and going through what you went through with your injuries. What did it tell you about being patient and taking care of yourself at that point in time?
It definitely, put me in that Bible. That's one thing that got me through that. God got me through it. Just having to really understand that, it's bigger than me. A lot of things that happen to you are bigger than you. Things don't just happen for any reason. For me, it slowed me down, and it just showed me I wasn't ready to be an NFL player last year. I needed another year to sit down, mature, humble myself, really understand the things that you need to do to be a great professional. And, you know, for me, like I said, being in the same defense 2 years, it helped me out a lot as well. So.
Right. A lot of people don't understand this. If you leave it up to the player gonna play.
Oh, yeah.
Injury, whatever, like, and you have to take care of your body.
Definitely. It's a product.
Talk about how important that is now that you've learned that.
Oh, yeah. Your body is your product. Just the things, you know, for me, I don't tell a lot of people this, but the week that I got hurt on my shoulder, with my shoulder, I didn't work out twice that week. I worked out twice, you know, every week, you know, throughout, you know, every week. Yeah, got out my routine.
Got off your routine.
and next thing I know, I had a shoulder injury. So, you know, for me, it really showed me that your routine is key. You got to understand that, you know, the little things really matter at this point. You know, when you get, the older you get, and the, you know, the more that, you know, the talent levels off and everybody's kind of on the same level. It's the little things that really separate you. Little things like watching film, practicing hard. You know, like I said, staying up. You know, not staying up, going to sleep on time. You know, it's things like that that really separate great players from good players. And you know, like I told myself since I was a little guy, little kid, I always wanted to be a great player. So.
That difference, real
Boy,
quick.
y'all better listen to this knowledge that's being dropped.
What they always say, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is a little extra.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's how it is when we come out. Second hour, man. Let's go, man.
Sensation Station Network. Sensation Station Network.
Say about that.
Hey guys, it's the Crush Sports Talk in the second hour. We're here on the Sensation Station Network, man. We are, it's your boy Eagle Age Maceo. We here with a guy that I think everybody should listen to. We always say we always like players who listen to the show, and you know, future players and future college players and future high schoolers and all that, to listen to people like Bryson, because he tells a story that every day matters, paying attention to your routine, making sure you understand what's going on. And Bryson, when you got the chance to play in the SEC and you knew you had that opportunity, you said it was all about, think about that, Maceo. A coach said, no, we're going to put you at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, he wanted you, you know, everybody, he was playing, you know, linebacker. And then you went there, and now the league is talking to you about going back to linebacker again and being able to adjust to that. Talk to us about being able to adjust and do things like that.
I feel like, you know, it's all about your mindset. You know, for me, I've always been a team player. I've always been the guy that, you know, if the coach need me to, you know, go out there and play nothing but special teams, I'll do that. You know, for me, like I said, coming in where I came in my freshman year, you know, fast forward into my sophomore year, I didn't play as much. I was a guy that, you know, we had a new defense coordinator come in. You know, he believed in, you know, our ones are gonna stay on the field. If you're a backup, you better play special teams, you know, or just wait on the sideline. For me, I understood that, you know, any way for me to get on the field is what I'm gonna do. And you know, just fast forward into now, for you to stay on the team, you gotta have versatility. You gotta be a guy that can do multiple things. You gotta be a guy that can bring multiple, you know, value in a lot of different areas, or you know, because the team could go find somebody who can go play linebacker, and that's the only thing you could do.
Right.
For me, I'm able to, you know, showcase. I got film at playing linebacker. I got film at playing DN. I got film at playing Sam. I got film at playing, you know, all special teams. So for me, you know, teams look at me as, we you know, you might not be no first, second round, third round guy, but if we go get you in the later end of the draft, we understand that you have a lot of value for it. So
the more you can do.
Yeah, the more you can do, the longer you're going to stay in.
And especially the league. If you can play that special team.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking years.
Well, I mean, a lot for like that, that's your ticket.
Exactly. We're talking about our guy Cameron Lynch, who plays for the Buccaneers.
Okay,
he came from Syracuse.
Right.
He made his way. He been going on 6 years now.
Right.
He can play that special teams.
It's another guy for the Patriots. He just made a play. He made a play in the Super Bowl. One of the gunners. He was in the league 8 years, played nothing but special teams.
Yeah, what's called Slater.
Yeah, Slater.
Yeah. And he goes to the Pro Bowl every year.
Every year.
As a special teamer.
I don't know what these people be talking about. You better learn to play everything, man.
I tell people, I admire long snappers, because they got one job.
Right.
And they can do that one job right there.
You know how many long
10, 15 years.
You know how many long snapper retire with gray hair?
Right. Like, no, you got one job. Ain't nobody standing over your head. All you got to do is get the ball back there to the
Snap it
pump
back there.
and run down.
That's it.
That's crazy.
Biggest, some of the things that you've been able to do. Who's been some of the biggest stars you ran into and gave you some advice so far?
Biggest stars, I mean, Mike Davis. That's a guy that I play with. He's a star now, but just signed a contract with the Bears. But for me, that's Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, that's right.
Growing up with him,
Carolina fan.
seeing him play at Gresham Park. That's the part that I played at. Just seeing guys like that.
Park fan.
Yeah, Gresham Park. Long bloodline.
Yeah, Gresham Park.
Long bloodline of guys.
GP.
Guys like Clowney, DJ Swanger. Those are guys that guys that I look up to, that I talked to, sat down with, had conversations with about, your mindset. One of my former teammates, Scott Moore, he was one of the guys that took me under his wing as soon as I got there. He was a sophomore, I was a freshman. And we always played with each other, and we always just picked each other's brain about certain things, how we was going to approach the game. But it's a lot of people that are the reason why I'm at where I'm at. I listen, I soak up everything. I feel like you got to in this in this day and age. If you think you know everything, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. So
let's mark March 25th, 2019, and let's see how you do them 10-year things.
Yeah,
I want to see this guy in 10 years.
Yes, sir.
I already know what he's gonna be doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Business gonna be booming.
Yeah, he gonna be like,
regardless of what he doing.
We coming back. We got one more segment with you, all right? Because certain people.
Business will be booming.
You know.
Business will be
certain
booming.
people you know.
Yeah.
So
he's not leaving with that jogging suit either. Yeah.
Use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bath water to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet. Fingerling. Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
Opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything.
I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor.
If making my detox public is going to help somebody, I'm all for it. I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth. Spread the truth. A message from Truth, the Ad Council, and ONDC.
Marie Callender's knows that you may not have time to roll out dough for a perfectly flaky crust that's made from scratch. Or enough time to mix vegetables with all white meat chicken and a homemade gravy. She knows you may not have a moment to crimp the edges of your favorite chicken pot pie. But Marie Callender's does. And when she's done, all you need to do is find time to grab someone special, sit down, and savor. Marie Callender's It's Time to Say.
It is Sean Prime from Inside the Loop with myself and Brenna B, and I've been talking about Jeans Body Tech for a minute simply because it's a premier gym in a pristine spot without a premium price. All the weight you need, all the machines you want, free parking, all in Buckhead. Come on, it's crazy. 700 Miami Circle is where you want to work out today. And for those who are feeling a little bit down because you may not have followed through on the healthy New Year resolution thing, hey, it's still the new year. You can start today. Look at yourself a year from now and hello, is that you? Because you're looking good, like snack-like. Yes, you are. 700 Miami Circle, or go to facebook.com/Jeans Body Tech, also known as JBT Fitness. Either way, $49 is nothing to pay to feel your best every day.
Credit, Jack, D, Black on.
I will play How Do You Like Me with Maceo and the 2 Chainz and everything. Anyway, man, this is the Crush Sports Talk, man, and I can honestly say, man, we've some great guys right now, man. And Bryson is another.
I do this for real.
Bryson, when you say you headed out tomorrow?
Oh yes, sir. Gotta go back. Go back. You know, to Columbia, go train a little bit. You know, gotta visit. You know, visit with the Falcons on the 5th. You know, go work out for them guys.
You going to the Garnet and the Black game?
I might. I ain't gonna
lie. It's on the 6th, on this Saturday.
This Saturday, I might have to go.
Next
stop
Saturday,
by. Oh yeah, I might have to go stop.
Come
by.
on, Drake.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah, my boy gonna go show
out
out now.
Man, that's right. I got
shout out to Drake, man.
Drake been on the show. I got love for Drake.
Oh yeah,
come on, Drake.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Drake.
Wow, a little pressure.
You were there with I'll keep going, Glaze.
I was there with some guys.
Yeah, you did have some ballers there, man.
Some guys.
Banneker High School safety.
Oh, Chaz.
Chaz Elder.
Chaz Elder, that's my guy. He in the military right now.
What?
Yes, sir. He's in the military. Air Force.
Chaz went to the military after playing 4 years of college football.
In the military, he tried out. I think he was with a couple of teams in that counts, but he in the military right now.
Were you after? What's the big 6'7" guy play defense in?
Clowney.
Yeah.
I was the year after he left. That was my freshman year.
Yeah. Talk about you coming in and you having to play and because Clowney he's still doing his thing in the league. South Carolina, look, y'all don't sleep on. They got some ballers in South Carolina, man.
You know, it might not. You know, the record. You know, during the season might not always look good, but when those guys get to the league,
they feel like even the field be like, let's check, make sure we check on South Carolina.
Oh, well, you know the greatest receiver ever played the game minus injury.
Yeah,
Sterling
Sharp. Yes, sir.
I saw the indoor practice. I saw this big old picture of him when
Yeah, we got those. They do it big for the guys in South Carolina. Sterling Sharp, another guy. You know, his number retired, so you know.
Can't nobody wear the 2.
No, yeah, nobody can wear that 2.
My favorite players of all time.
They put it up. Yes, sir.
Can't nobody wear the 2.
Yes, sir. They put that up.
Wearing the number 4. Why? It's sweet because you play defense and you rush in with it. What was behind that?
So for me, I wore number 25. My freshman year. But I had a guy at my school named Vincent Dallas. He was a big time guy. Played at Cedar Grove. He ended up going to Tennessee. But that was just a guy, that I always, looked up to. Just as far as the way that he approached the game. He played both sides of the ball. Was dominant. For me, I always told him, because he was one of the guys that kind of started Cedar Grove's tradition. Before his senior year, Cedar Grove didn't make the playoffs for probably about like 5-6 years.
Right.
That was my freshman year. So my freshman year, he ended up, having 4. He ended up leaving. We lost in the 3rd round to Burke County. I just told him, I'm going to get that 4, and I'm going to make sure I make this number memorable. And I remember, like I said, my sophomore year, I had 4. Was able to go out there and do the things I did my sophomore year, and then my junior year is when I took off. So, I made it sweet. Yeah. And then just throughout the recruiting process, that kind of, I was an inside linebacker. I wanted my number. I told him, I got to get 4 in college. I would in high school. I got to get it. Yeah. Keep the Instagram name.
Numbers matter.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Numbers matter. My high school coach made me cry. He didn't believe in wearing number 1. He didn't believe in 1.
I'm gonna ask you this, because we got to talk about your family center and what they mean to you in this process and everything. We've had the moms, but you talk about your brother going on Ohio State, your dad, and all that. Talk about your family, man, and what does it mean?
My family, we have a strong, solid support system. My mom, that's my rock. That's like my right hand woman.
Yeah.
You know, my grandparents, my grandma, my granddad. You know, my grandmother is kind of like my mother at times. You know, cause me and my mom so close. She just look at us. She be like, man, I gotta get on him.
I do it.
I do it. Yeah. You know, like I said, you know, my girlfriend. You know, she's there. You know, I've been with her since high school. So you know, she's always been there. And for me, like I said, my dad, he brings that NFL knowledge. He brings that, you know, that perspective of, you know, what I need to do as far as how I handle my business, how I you know, how I approach the game, and you know, just helping me along, you know, the things as a man, you know, growing up. He, you know, wasn't in my household, but at the same time, he always made sure he was there to support me whenever I needed help. So, like I said, I got a tight knit family. My aunties, you know, my little cousins, you know, they probably listening right now. You know, everybody supported me. My family, we real tight knit. But you know, it's better to have it like that.
I love it, man. I love it, man. Like I say, as long as I don't see you in no videos, man.
Yeah, nah, you ain't gonna see that.
Yeah.
We thank you, man, for coming on. Tell them where they can find this journey if you want them to. You what's your social media?
Twitter, B_Quattro4, Quattro with a Q. Instagram, B_Quattro. Facebook, Bryson Allen Williams. So, you know, if you follow me, yes sir.
There it is. When another name will be called when the draft, and we'll be like,
the Dallas Cowboys select.
Yeah. Hopefully. Let's go take this.
Let's go.
Already coaching?